Hey guys, it's me, Ruowen Huang. It's been a while, but again, I'm kidless right now, so I can do a quick broadcast. Before I begin, actually, wish everybody Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, just in case I don't have time to do broadcast again. New Year's coming. I wish you all have a wonderful 2017. Before I begin, my topic, let me introduce myself. My name is Ruowen Huang. I'm an author, spirit coach, and also a psychic. Today, I want to talk about why don't we feel the love anymore. I think this topic is mostly inspired by a lot of, client and also the follower on the internet. It seems like they've been the end of the years, instead of celebrate the Christmas atmosphere, the happiness, they are encounter difficulty in their family, such as they caught their other half cheating and all that, and or some of them are dealing with divorce. And then now, due to that, I want to talk about why don't we feel the love anymore. I mean, it's been centuries people talk about love, right? Like, really, honestly speaking, no one can really pinpoint what love really is. I mean, some people say, the sparkling feeling, the feeling like, tinkly, butterfly feeling is love. Some people say content, you feeling, safe with one another is love. But, I come to this point, I start to realize love is different definition for other people. It depends on where their background is, how they were raised. They will have different need and craving for for love. Hi, good morning from down under. Yeah, I'm kind of north half of the earth. So, hi there. Anyway, so what I try to say is, when we were first encounter someone, when we first get into a relationship with someone, we tend to willing to give more. We're willing to give more. You know what I mean? Like, go out of our way, be thoughtful, or do extra thing for other people, just because, we feel not so much to impress them, but just mostly because we want to. We really want to, and then we want the person that we are with to feel that sense of love. That love is most likely from the perception what we feel love would be. How would love be like then we would give, right? Because we don't know. We will only do things based on our own perception. So the beginning of time, people are more willing to go extra mile to duplicate what the love would be for another half, because that is what they thought it would be if they love someone, or if it would be as if someone is loved. You know what I mean? So what I do realize is, as time goes by, people then start setting into routine. Routine is we, start doing the thing together. There's nothing new to talk about. There's nothing, interesting or things, because we, day in, day out is daily things, right? It's not like at the beginning you really want to get to know them. You want to know their interests, their music, their preference, or what kind of food they like, or what kind of color they like. Now, I don't know, take about 3 months or 6 months for you to figure out someone. But then after 6 months, you thought you know it all. You just also assume they don't grow from now on. And then you are like, okay, I know what you like. I know what you would react. I pretty much know what you would do, say, or whatever, right? So when you start setting into routine, then you start getting into take it for granted. Take it for granted means, well, they forget one thing. They forget, like, at the beginning, come on, we all gone through it. Let's just be very honest with ourselves, right? At the beginning, boyfriend, girlfriend, we kind of have a back of our head, like, if I misbehave, you might leave me. If I misbehave, you might leave me. Therefore, I will notice things more. You know what I mean? Like this, I would notice, oh, that's very thoughtful of you. You don't have to do that, but that's very nice of you. Or, well, that's very nice gift. Oh, that's great. You remember my birthday. Oh, that's great. You remember what I say. Oh, that's great. You do this for me, just because we have that, that something sit in the back of our head. Like, if I don't behave, you're going to leave me, right? So as we start stabilize, or we start getting together, then we start taking things for granted. That is, how can you not know? Instead of before, we would notice us, oh, it's so nice that you know. Now it's become, how can you not know? You've been with me for so long. How can you not know? You know what I mean? And then it's especially worse when it happened to be couple like who married couple. And it's probably even worse if you have kids. You know what I mean? Because once you get married, it's like worry that will sit on the back of your head is no longer there. That is, you should be nice to my parents. You should be this. Disregard they are respectful or not, you should do this. You should clean. You should think. So you realize a lot of relationship when we were, the thing that drew us together, the things that put us together at the beginning is no longer there. Now we're talking about responsibility. We talk about, obligation. We talk about things that we so focusing on that we forget the other half is also a human being, or we forget they are also growing or have their own interest or things like that, right? So eventually that appreciation at the beginning when you were together then now become resentment. Resentment is, I've been working whole day and then I'm so tired and you still want me to look at the kids, or the wife would say, I've been running around, I've been, taking care of the kids, they've been crying, they're driving me crazy, and then you're not even giving me a hand. You know what I mean? So it's a common conversation that you most likely hear. It's like, we talk about a little thing. We actually don't talk about what's inside. What have we gone through? But we like reporting to our boss, this is what I did, this. Expecting our other half, if you know me, you should know what I go through. Right? But the thing is, nobody see you. Nobody really know what you go through. When you're reporting something to me every day, most likely I'm just whatever. It's like, well, I kind of guess and assuming this is what you would say. But what I'm here to say is, as people start settling together and then they become married, or even the parents, then all those things become responsibility. That is, every day in, day out, I'm focusing on responsibility. I'm really not interested in what you have to say or what you go through, what's going through your mind. Because a lot of time we were in this, our own drama in our head, right? We better keep it to ourselves, like the other half would not care, or we don't want them to worry about it, or anything. Therefore, as how we will communicate, you will realize as a couple, you communicate about more about what do you think, how do you feel, right? As a married couple, you talk more about what did you do. Don't care so much what you go through, but what did you do? Okay, here, done that. Nothing interested. So I almost automatically, selective hearing, hear it or not hear it. You know what I mean? So because I'm really not interested in what you've gone through, right? What kind of chaos that you're going through. So sure enough, eventually our responsibility take a hold of us. That means we put our mind and thought into our responsibility. We hold it so strongly and we forget to connect with one another. So 5 years pass, 10 years pass, we no longer feel love. You know what I mean? We're no longer, I don't know, it's just not there. And I don't understand why it's not there. Like, we've been married so long. A lot of people believe if you're married for so long, you should ought to still love each other. But the truth is, it's not necessary. It's you forget in the past 5 years or 10 years, you have grown into different person. You have grown mentally into different. You might doing the same thing. But let's assume you have not changed for the past 10 years. But nobody does that. Nobody does that. Everybody grow every little bit at a day. And then we're talking about a time of 5 years, 10 years. And then you turn around, realize your other half is a complete different person. Then you start evaluate, well, I don't know if I like them. And I don't know why. I don't know why if I like them. Or, or question yourself. So now I want to talk about why don't we feel love anymore? Actually, the more I want to talk about is, why do we have affair? I should just change my topic. Well, why do we have affair is, it's actually based on very simple foundation. That is appreciation. Appreciation is, when we were first together, we like to be appreciated. You know what I mean? Like whatever you do, whoever you are, we like to be appreciated. When you were together as a couple, at the beginning of time, before you get married, you tend to do that more. Oh, you look nice today. Oh, that's great food. Oh, that's very nice of you. You know what I mean? Like, we notice things. Therefore, we acknowledge that. Therefore, we feel appreciated, right? So as we get into couple, if you heard what I just say, what happened is we start taking all the thoughtfulness or consideration into like for granted. Therefore, we don't really appreciate it. We just expecting you supposed to do that. You know what I mean? Expect you supposed to do that. And then on top of what the society continue giving us is, like expectation or, how our environment raised us to be. Therefore, we even convince ourselves that is expected. And then a lot of time we compromise even doing the things that is so out of us. Therefore, we're still doing that. But what we did not realize is continue building resentment inside us. And then when that resentment got nowhere to vent, guess who we vent it to? We vent it to our other half, right? So as you get older and older, what happens is men and women require different appreciation. I'm just gonna give you a rough idea, but really the truth is all deal with your own shit inside you, okay? If you don't deal with it, it's gonna come out anyway. But I'm gonna give you a really broad idea. What do we look for in the relationship? Men's as all the nature in the universe, right? Men's usually got more pretty appearance, or they have, like stronger build or something that will attract other people, like attract other people's attention, you know what I mean? As a human, they could do that. They could focusing on their appearance to make themselves still look appealing. I mean, attracting other opposite sex or same sex, I don't care. Or they will use their social status, or they will use their money, or they will use their work. You know what I mean? As a human, there are a lot of ways for a male to still shine as I'm attractive. I'm an attractive human being, right? Women, in the other hand, we don't have the luxury like the man does. Women, in the other hand, they could look pretty, but then a lot of women may not look as, as shiny or, outstanding as the male. But very often, when women get into a relationship, they tend to devote themselves with or without knowing, you know what I mean? What happened is women have a tendency to build a nest. We will nest and make sure it's comfortable, make sure it's comfortable for the husband, make sure it's comfortable for the children, you know what I mean? So we would go out our way just to make a comfortable nest, right? Even sometimes it requires us to sacrifice ourselves to make ourselves no longer look pretty or something. We will give and give and give. So why am I pointing out those two is, in a relationship, when you start taking things for granted, you will start to realize those two elements will very often get neglected. That is, the guys will be working so hard, they're working their ass off, they're trying so hard to get themselves fit. But if they come to the family, this home, they no longer feel appreciated. You know what I mean? They don't feel appreciated. They don't feel like my wife noticed I've been working out and I actually got some bicep going on. Or my wife didn't notice I actually make so hard, make so much money, to bring the home and to make the social status kind of satisfied. Therefore, that start hitting their self-esteem. What happened is when their self-esteem got damaged, they then feel the need, well, if I cannot get validation from this home, I need validation from somewhere else. You know what I mean? So they will most likely outsource, still prove to somewhere, somehow. And, if they see someone flattering them, that kind of make them feel, well, that's kind of what I need. Or if they feel, other people actually appreciate their social status, their look or something better, then their attention, you call love, tend to be drawn to those people. Women, on the other hand, when they're in the relationship, when they start to feel whatever they're giving so much to this family, whatever they give, have no longer being appreciated. You know what I mean? I pay so much, I do so much for the house and things like that. But my husband simply take me for granted, and then they simply don't care about me. They don't notice the effort I do. So what they do is they start feel like maybe I have been building the wrong nest all this time. You know what I mean? So that's when they start outsourcing, looking for someone who will actually appreciate it. The bottom line is, we living things, we all have that tendency. The tendency of wanting to be appreciated. You know what I mean? So what I'm here to say is, Why don't we feel the love anymore? It's somewhere along the time we forget to appreciate other half. Somewhere along the time we don't feel appreciated anymore. So therefore what we do is we shut down our emotion there. Then just so we can protect ourselves. Does that make sense to you guys? So anyway, just the reason I want to talk about this broadcast is just because of the past months. I actually had a lot of clients asking me why is their husband having affair? Why do they want to have an affair? You know what I mean? They trying so hard. They know what they should do is right, or what they should do this and that, but they just simply couldn't control themselves. What I'm here to give you a suggestion. I'm not here to try to give an explanation to you guys. The reason we no longer feel love, and then we feel the need to have affair, really is a need. It's simply to validate our own value and to prove that we are appreciated by someone somehow, some way. You know what I mean? So that's usually the drive that's driving us outsource or look elsewhere. But what I'm here to suggest is, if many of you fall into the pattern that I was just saying about, if you no longer appreciate other half's effort, and then you simply take it for granted, and then you notice take it for granted, like their thoughtfulness simply become expectation. You no longer appreciate that because you expect that, or you expect things to be done certain way because you no longer appreciate what they do or done. Cut yourself doing that. What I'm saying is catch yourself when you're doing that, and what you really need to do is start learn to appreciate one another. You know what I mean? Start making a date night that you can go out, let go, just, you know, it's okay. It's okay to leave your kids at home for once. Seriously, I'm not even joking. Just create a moment, recreate that moment that you guys can get to know one another. Because I don't really care how long you guys marry. It can be 5 years, it can be 20 years or 30 years. The thing is, people grow, right? People grow. Through this time, you guys might have grown to different person. Through this time, you guys might have gained different interests or something. Instead of asking them, what do you do? What do you do? Seriously, because you live with them. The chances you think you already know what they do. It's more important to ask them, how do you feel? What's your aspect of that? What do you think about that? To deep down in them and get to know this person once a while. I'm not asking you date night every night, but you know, come on, guys. If you guys marry for so long and then you start to feel there's no love anymore. I'm not telling you to stuck with your other half forever, but at least do your annual check, you know, the annual report, doing a check, and make sure everything is intact. Make sure he's still the person you want to spend your time with. How do you do that? Go have a date or so, and then using that day to kind of evaluate one another, checking who they are, what they are, so you can actually know, hey, it's not too bad. We kind of growing in the same direction. And if not, you're like, okay, we kind of growing different direction. How can we rejoin one another? Or if you don't want to rejoin another, at least you can start thinking about what you're going to do with your future instead of always wait until the moment that hit you really hard. You know what I mean? The moment someone announced, sorry, I no longer love you, I just have to leave. Come on, the truth is you already stopped feeling love a while ago. You've just been denying it because why? I'm so used to it. I'm so comfortable. It's in my comfort zone. Therefore, I'm continually telling myself staying inside is okay. So what I'm saying is, don't wait until that moment hit you and then you feel hurt. There's always a lot of things you can do. So just a little, my mind's kind of cloudy, but it's just a little thing to share with you guys. Again, if you like what I'm doing, you can always join me live on Facebook or go to my subscribe my YouTube channel or my website ruowen.com. Till then, I see you guys next time. Bye.